back, everyone, to another Marvel Daily Snap video. I'm Gem Machine Esquire, and today we are not playing Marvel Snap. Oh, we grinded pretty hard. We hit Infinite. I'm a little burnt out, and to be honest with you, I just didn't feel like playing today. I am a little burnt out, and it did make me remember that, hey, this game is fun. I played a little off stream, testing some decks I said I was going to play on stream, like the Ronin deck, Patriot deck. None of them felt right to me. So we're going to do some tweaking with them, and I'll make a video about that as well, saying why I'm not playing the exact decks that people recommended and things like that. Please keep recommending decks. Like, I do want to play decks, but I don't know what rank some people are that are recommending decks, and when I was playing it, it just didn't work for me. Now, maybe I'm not playing it right, and I don't get the theme of the deck, but that's sort of my point, is I don't get the theme of the deck a lot of the times, and we'll talk about that. But I wanted to have some fun today, because we hit Infinite, and we're trying to relax a little more. I've been doing a little trolling, because you can't fall out of Infinite. So we've lost quite a bit recently, but we've had a lot more fun losing than we have winning recently, because I'm not playing purely for rank. So we have this deck up above us, and I know what you're thinking. He's not playing. What he meant by that is he has Agatha in the deck, and no. This deck, you see two spots are empty in it. That's because I do not have the two cards needed. It is Gambit and Ghost Rider, and we're going to test out my editing abilities, but you should see those cards right here. Boy, that's going to look silly if I can't edit that in. But this deck comes from a friend of mine who I met in real life, and we actually played League of Legends together for quite some time. And he moved on playing this game as well, and his name is Dr. Learn to Math. He actually does stream on occasion, so I'm going to put the link to his Twitch in the description to the video, so please go check him out. He created this deck because he plays TFT, and he likes Marvel Snap, and he wanted to do both at the same time, so he's like, how can I do that? Well, he unlocked Agatha, and he was like, well, what if someone plays for me? So it's a pretty standard Agatha deck. He doesn't have Wave, so he can't use Wave. He did say he'd put it in if he had it, so that's something if anyone who's playing has Wave and wants to run this deck. The idea of the deck is you are discarding cards, hopefully hitting Agatha with the discards, either with Blade, most likely the Lady Sif, Swordmaster, and then you have Hela for a turn 6 play, hopefully. If you don't have Hela, you still have Dracula, who can hit something like Hulk or Infinite, which feels really good because Agatha always plays herself on turn 6. So if she puts Dracula on the board, it still has a chance to have your final turn push with something like Agatha plus Infinite. Jubilee pulls a big card, maybe the Hulk, maybe Infinite, maybe even Hela or Dracula are all good pulls. If Agatha's still in control, pulling Lady Sif, really good pull. And the reason Sunspot is in the deck is simply because Agatha is not very efficient with her mana. So puts... she either, if it's in her hand, she'll either play Sunspot or Blade level 1, and if it's Sunspot, even if she's not efficient with her mana, Sunspot will still continue to grow, so she's getting something out of that. It's not a terrible idea, actually, and the reason I want to spotlight it is, one, I thought it was really cool that he played two different games at once, and so we're going to show some of his stream coming up, but two, he gained something like 70 cubes in 2 days with this deck, which is insane to me. Now, spoiler warning, he is in gold now. He was in silver when he started. So it's slightly lower than the gameplay videos that I put out, which I'm in Infinite now. But that being said, playing in silver and gold, to be able to get 80 cubes or so, it's like 70 or 80, in 2 days is kind of insane, right? Like, that's really, really good. And so we're going to check out his stream today. We're going to try to get a few gameplay videos of him playing, and we'll check it out. But yeah, we're going to switch on over. Right? They come out with the friendlies. I'm going to be doing a tournament for all people. Doesn't have to be Infinite. Obviously, you should know if you're not Infinite or you're going up against someone Infinite. Or, you know, I'm using Infinite as like a general, like if Galactic and you're something like Silver, you should know you're at a disadvantage. But if you're okay with that, I'm going to host a tournament for everyone. It'll be 3 divisions, pool 1, pool 2, pool 3. Anyone can play in them as long as you are up to that pool. So, for instance, if you don't have any pool 3 cards, you can't play in pool 3 because it's just not going to be fair. But if you have like a half collection, I'll say if like you're around 1,000 collection, you can play in the pool 3. If you have all pool 3 cards, you can still play in the pool 2 tournament, but you can't use any of your pool 3 cards, obviously. It's same for pool 1. Pool 1 will be going for $25 winner. The reason that is so low is, 1, it's for newbies. 2, it's Well, it's going to be Zoo and Devil Dino, right? Like, let's be serious. Those are the decks that are going to be going on. So it's a little less competitive. The Pool 2 tournament will be for $50, a little more, a little more fun. And Pool 3 will be $100. Winner take all in all of them. I know it's not a ton of money. It's not like a huge prize pool or anything, but it's all coming out of my bank account, my pay, and it's all free, or it's free to play tournament. And it's just to see if you guys are interested in doing it and the type of reaction, and I want to practice my casting. So now that we got that message out of the way, and tell me, by the way, in the comments below, tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. But this video is really not about me. It's about Dr. Learning Math. So let's get into his games. It looks like Agatha got discarded. Well, he played Swordmaster Blade and Lady Sif, so that's not too surprising. So he's going to Ghost Rider, probably Snag. Well, actually, it might not be Agatha, right? He's had 3 discards. Oh, but he gets Hella, which means he's going to get the rest of the discards, which is Infinite and Cosmo and Agatha. Yeah, and so that's a snap. He's coming in. Yeah, I would go ahead and Gambit, because the other 2 cards don't really matter. I think he has Hulk left in his deck, so Jubilee might be an option, but he probably has 4 cards left in his deck at this point, so probably not the way to go. I think Gambit's much better. Maybe snipes the Devil Dino. But I think he's looking for the high roll here. I feel like the right's pretty locked down anyway. There's no Moon Girl, so he doesn't have another Devil Dino. I would have Gambited, personally. But Jubilee's definitely the higher roll, right? If he pulls the Hulk, that's huge. I don't think No NI or Nani should play this out, but we'll see. Let's look at his deck, though. He has a Sunspot and a Devil Dino deck, which is a little unusual. The rest of the cards are pretty standard. Polaris, I guess you could say, is a little unusual, but we're up against people who are in gold, so they probably don't have full collections. He's probably just entering Pool 3, doesn't, that might be just a pretty high-powered card he has. You see this a lot in early Pool 3 card decks. It's pretty hard to predict exactly what cards they have because they don't have enough of a completion to have a full deck. He's really roping it, though. So if he goes through this game, he will potentially lose 4 cubes instead of losing 1. Well, he doesn't play anything. He does tie on the left by saving the Sunspot. It makes you think maybe it's a bot, maybe it's not, maybe like he was making decisions and he got caught in it. That's happened to me before. I'm not going to say it hasn't. But, so guys, this goes to one of the things that I know I say all the time about how to climb to infinite, or, it's don't have to be infinite, like galactic or omega or whatever, is there's that old Kenny Rogers song, "No one to hold 'em, no one to fold 'em." That's what Marvel Snap is. It's very, very, very low stakes poker. Noni lost 4 cubes. He could have lost 1 cube there, which is, he lost 4 times the amount of cubes he should have, which is insane. Like, the reason it's low stakes poker is you can only lose up to 8 per game, but right, if you multiply that out from, let's say it takes an average of like 100, 200 games to get to an infinite, right? If you lose 4 to 8 times more cubes than you need to per game, that's actually insane, right? It adds up. That'll be 800 cubes, 400 cubes, something like that more. And that's 400 more cubes that you'll need to make up, right? If that's your average loss, which your average loss should not be 4 cubes. It would be much lower than that. It would be like 2. But even if you do that, right, 2, and it becomes 200 cubes over 100 losses, 200 cubes takes you, like, let's say you're at gold, you're at 30. I'm sorry, 40. You should be at 60, right? That is an instant rise to what, that's either diamond or vibranium's 70. So, it really is the best advice you can give, is learn when to snap and just hit the retreat button. There's no foul in doing that. All right, but we do start off with Sanctum Sanctorum. Looking at his deck list that we just showed, I don't think he has any way of playing into there besides Hela. But he plays Sunspot, or Agatha plays Sunspot. Discards Dracula. And I'm sorry I'm not talking about the Hearthstone enough. I know that he's got that going off in the other corner, and I legitimately know nothing about it. It is just colors to me. This will kill the Scorpion, right? It's guaranteed to kill Scorpion here. Next turn, the only card he has is Jubilee. Jubilee could pull into the Hulk, which wouldn't be disastrous. But yeah, this will hit Scorpion. So even though Gambit... And it's going to discard a card, too. All of the discards are good except it... Hela. But Gambit is a sniper and hits Agatha. Oh, and he pulls the Ghost Rider, too. So he actually has a pretty good play path here of Ghost Rider, Jubilee, and then Hela. And why that's pretty good is I hope he sees it. Is it'll fill up his board, meaning the Hela summons, the Hela summons will go to Sanctum Sanctorum. Oh no! Disaster strikes. Oh, it's a disaster. Well, he can actually. It's not a disaster. It's not a disaster. What he should do. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think the highest roll is you use Lady Sif to get rid of Infinite, and then do Ghost Rider. But this is more consistent. Ooh, it pulls Dracula. So yeah, the goal here is to play. You should play Lady Sif mid, and Dracula's gonna hit whatever one Lady Sif doesn't hit. So the best play here is Lady Sif mid. Oh, it's Lady Sif. The highest high roll is Hulk mid, and then hopefully Dracula hits uh, one of if not, but you almost guarantee a loss right that. So let's see what happens. He plays 2 cards. Okay. That's probably going to be enough to win mid. But the problem he's going to run into, right? So he loses by 7. But Dracula's going to hit 12, but then take 3 points away. So he's going to win by 13 on the right. So in Monster Metropolis, if you take away the bonus that it gives, you always think about it as a 3-point swing. You shouldn't think about it as a 3-point swing. It's actually a 6-point swing because they lose the 3, but then you gain the 3. So by taking that away from him, it's actually a massive swing, which gives him the victory on the left. So that's another 4-cube game. And I think that takes him up to 69. 69 cubes. According to his chart, which he is a math savant, as his name would imply, he's 30. I think he hasn't updated, so it would be 40 and 20. So he wins twice as much as he loses. That's 50 games. So he's averaging like what's that, 1 point? It's less than 1.1, but he's always averaging over 1 cube per game. Now that's not one win. That's not 1 cube per win. That's 1 cube per game. In high elo, most people don't play Agatha because it's very unlikely that Agatha's AI will play his cards as optimally or strategically as a player will. And that's true for, I don't care if you're Iron, right? Agatha will not play your cards better than you. And she'll play randomly. But it's hard to ignore her 14 power. So it's widely considered that the best things you can do is run Wave and Lady Sif, and those be your only 3 costs in the deck, and have no other 6 costs in your deck outside of maybe a Chavez. And the reason is Wave and Lady Sif are guaranteed to hit Agatha. If you don't know how Agatha works, she will always play herself given the chance, which is why Project Pegasus came up, gave him 5 power, 5 energy, and she played herself. Interesting here, he plays Infinite. So he's got to be feeling pretty good. If this hits not Hela, it's got a 1 in 3 chance of hit Hela, but it's good if it hits not Hela. It does hit Hela. But what he can do, and what he probably should do, is play Dracula here and play Dracula mid. Maybe Dracula left. I would play Dracula. Yeah, mid's fine too. Because he's guaranteed, right, to pull Hela. He's guaranteed to pull Hela now. So what he should be looking for is a potential discard. So what I would do here is I would play Blade and then Ghost Rider, so and that would ensure Ghost Rider could be hit by Blade. This is a little more dangerous. Mm. Okay, so here's the good news. Oh no, so that's bad news. So he can't play here. If he doesn't play, Dracula has a 50-50 chance um, of hitting Swordmaster Infinite. If he hits Infinite, he should win this game. But we'll see what the card on the right is. It's hard to imagine it's good enough to win. Oh, that is so brutal, but he still might win, and he that Dracula RNG. Oh, the not playing the Swordmaster was so good. It gives him a 50-50 chance at winning, and I can't imagine a much higher roll from Wicked Bad for you too. It's a good play by him. He played Odin in the mid, which got him another Ironheart trigger. None of those hit right, which is intense. Like, that probably shouldn't have happened. But then Odin switches out of Lockjaw into Doctor Doom again, putting 5 more points right, which is insane, and almost got him the win if Agatha didn't go right. It absolutely would have been a win. And remember, the Agatha was randomly placed, right? Agatha played herself there. So absolutely crazy and a great win. We're going to try to get one more game in from Dr. Learned Math. And again, I'm going to put his link to his Twitch in the description below. Please give him some love. He deserves it for playing these 2 games at once. I say playing 2 games at once. Of course, Agatha is playing one for him. Again, welcome back, guys. And we have the final game. It is our boy Chebyshev versus Amazed Usher. He has won his past 4 games that we've been watching. He's been steadily climbing. Agatha plays Blade to the left into Atlantis. Atlantis, of course, giving a +5 power to, if you only have 1 card there. Has synergy with almost all of the Atlantean cards, like the Namors, Orca, anything like that that wants to be played alone, which all of the Atlantis cards does. Of course, since he cannot control where his cards go, very unlikely he'll get that Atlantis bonus. And I'll say most decks don't run anything that really want to play into Atlantis. Atlantis is more of like a fantasy location that if you can use it, it's great, but most of the time you're not going to. Doesn't look like his opponent's planning on using it either. And it slams the Hela, which is the worst case scenario. But I will say, if he can Lady Sif Agatha, Ghost Rider the Hela, that will bring back Agatha as well. And ooh, that's kind of interesting. That's a cool play. I like the Gambit into Muir Island. I think I would have played Gambit right to get the double. That's not good for him. But the Gambit, kills his Dracula. That's really bad. But there's still things he can do here. Again, he needs Agatha to go down. Agatha's really avoiding Sinister London, though. He's getting, what's that, 1 discard here? 1 discard. He really needs to be Agatha. Let's see if he gets the Agatha discard here. No, and it's Infinite. So, we do know that Ghost Rider is going to get... Oh, now it might be Swordmaster. Before, the only thing that could be played was Ghost Rider. But Swordmaster comes in and, well, stops that from happening. And Agatha gets discarded. So, I think the ideal playline, believe it or not, is Ghost Rider, right? But let's see if he does that. If either Ghost Rider pull, now he might only get 1, because if Ghost Rider lands mid, he doesn't get it. But if he gets a Ghost Rider pull right and left, he has a pretty good chance of pulling Hela. which I'm pretty sure would just win the game. I don't think Enchantress is gonna matter at all. That's a really cool variant. Ghost Rider comes out, and it's it's just a win. It's just a win. And the Lords of RNG come, and the best part is Ghost Rider went left. So even if the first Ghost Rider didn't pull Hela, he was gonna get 2 pulls. So he might have pulled something like Agatha Infinite. He was always probably gonna win that game, which is absolutely insane. I mean that's the RNG of this deck, right? Like sometimes you're gonna have heartbreak, sometimes you're gonna break hearts. And in that game, Amazed sure, you have to feel sorry for him. I mean, he had to feel like that was such an easy win. He was probably thinking he's not going to snap because he didn't want to scare away Dr. Learn to Math. But in the end, it's just a win. And that's 5-0 since we've been watching, which is absolutely insane. He's up to 74 cubes? Why did we struggle so much getting to Infinite? He's not even playing. I'm losing my mind. This is awesome. I'm so happy for him, though.